Next up, we have a presentation from Olympio Metals with the ticker code OLY, a company focused on lithium and rare earth exploration. To tell us more, today I'm joined by Managing Director, Sean Delaney. Good afternoon, Sean.
So Olympio Metals, critical minerals explorer in Australia and Canada, as Jane just said, Jeff. So I guess our focus is on, like I said, on critical minerals. We have a project called the Cadillac Project in Quebec, which we acquired just in August this year. And that's, a lithium project. I guess Quebec is, an excellent jurisdiction for lithium exploration. We have the Aurelia Rare Earths Project in South Australia, which we acquired in November last year, which is carbonatite hosted rare earths project, which we're drilling there right now. So that's pretty exciting. We have OLY project, which is just north of Kalgoorlie. Well-established gold exploration, but now becoming a very interesting lithium area with all the corporate and activity that's been going on there over the last few months. And we've got a farming agreement with Liontown over our OLY project there. So obviously that's we're super excited about what they can find there, and the Halls Creek Gold Project, which is one of our listing projects. So yes, looks a small company, 78.8 million shares on issue. Like I said, we're only 18 months old, market cap about 10 million, 3.5 million in cash at the end of September. So 6.4 million EV. So it's a small company. So the board, Simon Andrews, the chairman, Aidan Patel, who's the MD of Charger, is non-exec director, and myself. So we have lithium exploration on our experience rather on the board. So next slide. So I'll just go through these projects basically on a high level. Given the time restriction, I guess. So the Cadillac Lithium Project in southwest Quebec. So we bought that project, as I said, in August this year. So why did we buy it? Well, I mean, there was a big sort of significant push into Quebec, over the last 6 or 8 months, really, with the success of Patriot, I suppose, in Winsome there, and their super discoveries up in James Bay. But look, we were looking for a project that was perhaps a little bit more advanced, and location is the key. So this project is 50 kilometers out of Val d'Or, which is a town very similar to Kalgoorlie, mining sort of town, 30,000 people. This project's got road access all year round access, no helicopters required. And more importantly, it had spodumene on the surface and in drilling from the work that was done by Vision Lithium, who are the vendors of the project. So really, look, we looked at a lot of opportunities and just thought, okay, here's a chance to acquire a project that's got known lithium, and the location is fabulous. It's as I say, just out of town, so you've got opportunity, you've got infrastructure there. So really, any discovery there, is going to give you enormous chance of sort of development based on the infrastructure. So this is just a close-up of where the project is. It's within Sayona's Abitibi hub, they call it. So it's less than 100 kilometers from the only operating mine or lithium mine rather in Canada. Look, as I said, we acquired it from Vision Lithium, who had they've got 2 other more advanced lithium projects. So really, they've become our major shareholder in this acquisition. Their sort of senior chairman and CEO also participated in the fundraising that we completed in August at 18 cents to acquire the project. So look, that just gives us great confidence that they weren't sort of selling the project for the wrong reasons, if you like. They're still a significant sort of participant. Great location, known spodumene, near the surface and in drilling. So we really like the opportunity there. So this is just an example of some of the work that they've done on the A, B, and C dike in this little prospect, which is sort of in the northern end, called Wells Le Coussier. Sort of 3.14, 6 meters at 1% Li2O in drilling. So basically, I guess, as I said before, what it's proven to us is that there's spodumene there on the surface. and in the drilling. So, my very sort of simplistic analysis of lithium exploration, the best place to find lithium is basically where it already exists. So that was really the attraction of buying the project. So this is, you can see the Wells Le Creuset there in the northern part, and two sort of areas of priority areas for exploration. Vision Lithium had spent quite a bit of money. They had LiDAR mapping sort of done all throughout the project, and a significant sort of sampling done on the southwestern end. But basically, the LiDAR has identified over 400 pegmatites throughout this project, which just means that there's pegmatites sort of sticking out of the ground everywhere. There's targets galore in the southwest there. They've got through a sort of very significant sampling program they've identified numerous fractionated pegmatite targets there, which all require sort of follow up. But really, what we've been focusing on is just sort of fanning out from the known high-grade spodumene in the northeast or in the northern part at Wells Le Creuset. So we acquired the project in August, got on the ground straight away, and we've had teams out there, working as hard as possible to generate targets. So this is a close-up of the Wells Le Creuset, the sort of where the high-grade spodumene is, and we've just, as I said, fanned out from there, and just using handheld XRF and libs in the field. We've had a couple of field crews on there using local crews that are based in Val d'Or. And so, yeah, our most recent announcement talked about this Dike Z, which you can see on the sort of southern part of the figure there, which is really which is a 1.3 kilometer sort of fractionated pegmatite dike. It's up to 150 meters wide. It's massive, and that really just gives us the potential for scale if the drilling comes in. So what we're doing right now is we're going through an approvals process to basically to get our first sort of drilling program happening there. We've got the M zone dikes there, which you can see in sort of in the middle of that figure. We've got dike Z, so we're just going to drill on the top of that dike. We've got sort of numerous target areas based on the field work that we've done. So we're super excited to get some rigs out there in January. It's very cold in that part of the world in the winter months, but they're very experienced with their drilling through winter. And in fact, most of the drilling that they do in Quebec is all through winter, mainly because the place freezes over and you can get access, which is not an issue for us, but because there's a road right down through the middle of the project. But so we're super excited to be drilling on this project, starting likely January, as soon as the approvals are all in place. So the Olympio project, as I said, in South Australia, look, it's a rare earth project that we identified, through the South Australian sort of mines department. We did a deal on one tenement there for an earning, and then basically we pegged this tenement to the south, and we pegged a tenement to the north. Yeah, but this is really sort of ground that's been explored for diamonds, by Stockdale and Flinders over many years. So it's never been sort of the focus of rare earths. But amazingly, once we did this agreement on the deal, we looked to the south, and the ground that was vacant contained the Oly carbonatite, which is actually one of the 8 sort of known carbonatites in Western Australia, including Mount Weld. And we were just amazed that ground is vacant, so we pegged that ground, and I guess that's 100% ours. We pegged a tenement to the north, which we call Yan Yari, which is obviously 100% ours. So this is some of the exploration work. Look, once we picked the project up, we found there was 200 samples sitting in a house in Adelaide, which had been sort of taken for diamonds over the years, and so we assayed those. We were able to assay those samples from trenches, and that just gave us great confidence that there's rare earth potential in this project. As you can see, the Olympio tenement, the one we've got the agreement on, then Oly, including the Oly carbonatite, to the south, and then Yanyeri to the north. So really, this is again, it's a great location. It's only 100 sort of kilometers east of Port Augusta. You're probably 4 hours drive out of Adelaide on on marginal farmland, if you like. So it's a great location for exploration. And I guess our we figured that carbonatite hosted rare earths is really where it's at. And if you look at the success of WA1 at their Arunta project, and that sort of, I guess, gave us confidence that carbonatite exploration is where we believe that there's significant upside. So yeah, these are just some of the results that we got from the drilling that we completed in May on the Earnin tenement. And so reasonable 9 to 1189 ppm TREO. So just really just sort of validated our theory that there's a sort of a primary host there. This project is on sort of very deep plumbing, if you like, in the same sort of structure as Olympic Dam. So if carbonatite hosted rare earths requires very deep plumbing, this just really sort of validated our theory that there's a primary source to the rare earths there. So we basically completed a detailed a drone magnetic survey on over Wolloway, and the project to the south that's 100% ours. The magnetic modeling just demonstrates that there's significant magma bodies, deep down. So we're drilling there right at the moment. We've got an air core rig just going around doing some shallower drilling on various mag targets. So yeah, we're very excited to see what that air core drilling turns up. And so this is just a carbonatite story. Carbonatite, as I say, WA1, if you follow that story, Mount Weld is a carbonatite in the Kimberley field, Mountain Pass. So there's been significant success of carbonatite exploration globally over many years. So the Mulwaree project, which is just 120 kilometers northwest of Kalgoorlie. This next slide is really just a demonstration of all the the lithium assets, which are in the greenstones next to the granites in the Yilgarn sort of region, southwest of Western Australia. Obviously, a significant area of interest. I mean, Wesfarmers have just done a significant deal for the ground that's all around it, with Oraband, Minres, Pantoro. So there's been significant corporate activity, as anyone who watches the lithium space would be aware. So this just shows our tenements here, which, as I said, we've got a farm in agreement with Liontown. They've completed 1,100 samples over all the greenstone areas in the Mulwaree and Mulline prospects there. They've completed all the sampling, and they're basically just analysing the work. And so yeah, we're expecting a decision one way or another, and then progressing to stage 1. Further exploration on this project, which we think it's a great deal for Olympio shareholders. We get if they decide to proceed with stage 1, we get to stay in at 49%, so they would get to 51% on stage 1, which gives us a significant upside to any discovery. And also Liontown, significant exploration, significant lithium experience, and it just means that we can look after Quebec and South Australia, and Liontown are doing the work on this Mulwaree project for us in Western Australia, which we think is a great deal for our shareholders. So Halls Creek project, yeah, next slide. So I won't spend too much time on this, but this is gold. This is a gold project in the East Kimberley region of Western Australia, which we did some drilling there a couple of months ago. We announced some results there. We got 1 meter at 18 grams per ton, which is obviously encouraging when you're getting 18 grams per ton gold in drilling, but those details are in our releases. So that's really, so this is really just a summary, I guess, of Olympio, where we're at. We've got lithium in Quebec, drilling there in January. We've got rare earths in South Australia. We're drilling there this month. Carbonatite hosted, so we love that project. And we've got Liontown, looking at our Mulwaree project in Western Australia. So we've got significant news flow coming. We've got a tight capital structure, 78.8 million shares of Vision Lithium. As I said, the vendor of the Quebec project are our significant shareholder now. We also have the Lithium Royalty Corporation and Atlas group, two significant institutions holding major parts, a very tight register, strong support from Canaccord through a recent capital raising for the acquisition of the Quebec project, and we think we've got the technical team to deliver. So next slide. And so that's the summary of Olympio Metals, and my contact details are on here. So feel free to make contact if any questions about the projects or other things that we're doing or other opportunities. Thank you, Jane.
Sean, what a great presentation. Thank you for that. We've had a few questions come through, so let me jump into them. So with drilling due to commence at Cadillac in January 2024, what's the timeline required to define a resource?
Wow, yeah, so we're jumping ahead there. I'd say that's jumping ahead. But look, I mean, as I said, we have some very large targets there with that DIG-Z that we've identified, which is 1.3 kilometers. So I mean, depending on success, the success of the drilling, that we're doing in January will really sort of drive the exploration program. If we look, Victor Cantori, who's the chairman of Vision, said to me, look, he loves the way the Australians do business. They come over to Canada and they're not afraid to drill holes in the ground. So he said, we said we want to put some drilling in here, and we're sort of very supportive of that. So yeah, look, that's our aim. The drilling, this first sort of scout drilling, if you like, in January will really drive the exploration program for the rest of the year. So, but we want to talk about a resource yet until we see some results. So.
Well, just further to that then. So what is the campaign in January 2024 again, just to reiterate?
Well, look, we're probably going to do about 3,000 meters in just sort of in just some scout drilling, if you like. We're real, the geologists will hate this, but you're able to drive up on top of this sort of pegmatite, and we're just going to drill down, just down dip, really, just to test some areas of it. And then move on to that M zone. So very sort of significant size, target. So what that means, I guess, if you have success, you've got opportunity for scale, so in terms of tons, so you're not just talking about sort of smaller targets. So yeah, we're planning, say 3,000 meters, in 5 or 6 locations based on sort of our priority targets.
Good campaign. And so just based on the drilling success, is there an option, or is the company looking to expand the land holding at Cadillac?
Well, we have 190 square kilometers, so 334. So the land holding is sort of significant, and that's sort of the total of Vision's lithium sort of project there. So it's an option, but effectively we have to spend 500,000 in the 12 months. So really we've bought the project. So yeah, look, I mean, of course, we're always open to opportunities, looking for new ideas, but it is a very significant land holding that we'll be exploring in the southwest, and further expanding that exploration all through next year. So significant land package to be explored there already.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, jumping around a bit here. So OLY, air core drilling has been completed. When can we expect the results of that campaign?
Well, the drilling's ongoing, so look, I mean, with the time that assays taken, all the rest, it'll likely be the new year, before we'll have anything to announce there. So so we'll be waiting in anticipation for results from the drilling there.
Wonderful. Well, Sean, that's all the questions that we have for today. And as Sean mentioned, please feel free to reach out via the contact details on the presentation, which I assume was lodged with the ASX today. But thank you again for joining us.
And apologies for the internet connection. I don't know what happened in the middle there, but I'm in the office, but it just dropped out. So
it happens to the best of us. Don't worry. Thank you again. Good luck with the programs.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks for everybody for tuning in.